Karl Marx was the child of Heinrich and Henrietta Marx in 1818 in Prussia. During his childhood, there was a lot of political turmoil and revolutionary events within Belgium, France, and Poland. During his formal education, he met many philosophers who held a very high influence. For example, George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Karl Marx studied philosophy and law in the universities of Berlin and Bonn. His doctoral thesis compared the naturalistic philosophies of Epicurus and Democritus. He began working as a radical writer in early 1842, first writing to the Rheinische Zeitung and later editing it until its closure by Prussian authorities in April 1843. After submitting and having his PhD thesis accepted by the University of Jena, Marx concluded his official schooling in 1841. In terms of his worldview, there seems to be the greatest conceivable dislike for bourgeois capitalist society and an unquestionable support for future communist society when one reads Marx's writings from all stages of his life. However, it's unclear exactly what this hatred and support means. Marx never explicitly states that capitalism is unjust, in contrast to popular belief. He also doesn't state outright that communism would be a fair social structure. He actually makes a conscious effort to avoid making overt moral statements in his own writings and regularly goes to great lengths to disassociate himself from others who discuss justice. Karl Marx wrote the Communist Manifesto with Friedrich Engels in 1848. The manifesto placed a strong emphasis on the perilous instability capitalism brought about, as well as the significance of class conflict in all historical societies. The manifesto mainly analyzed historical events that made the system necessary and proposed its ultimate goals, but it did not specifically offer directions for establishing a communist government, even if it did outline several fundamental conditions for communist society. Given the strongholds of capitalism and individualism in contemporary American culture, Karl Marx's ideas of communism, which emphasize the eradication of private property and class structures, face difficulties. Although some opponents of capitalism find resonance in Marx's criticism of wealth concentration, worker exploitation, and income inequality, applying Marxist ideas in the market-driven nation like the United States is still difficult. Large-scale communism is improbable since the American economic system is based on the principles of private ownership and market competitiveness. However, part of Marx's ideas are still present in conversations about universal health care, wealth redistribution, and labor rights, indicating that his critique can still also have an impact on current arguments about social justice and economic reform.